gardener or dog fancier. The copy mutant gene grow up, each slightly longer claw help it to run just a little bit faster. So it catches more prey, which means that its cubs more better fed and more likely to survive and have cubs of their own. Some of these new cubs, children of the mutant, inherit the mutated genes, so they had to grow up with slightly longer claws. They too run extra fast because of it, and they too therefore have more cubs, great-grandchildren of the original mutant, and so on. Even though a human breeder systematically chose the fattest individual to breed from, but there is no human breeder. Survival does the job instead. You can see what's going to happen. As the generation go by, the mutated gene becomes more and more common in the population. Eventually, a time comes when almost the entire population of cheetah has the mutated gene. And they are all running just a little bit faster than their ancestors did. This now puts extra pressure on the gazelle. Not all gazelle can run equally fast. None can run as fast as the cheetah, but some cheetahs can run faster than other gazelle, and they are the ones more likely to escape being eaten. This makes them more likely to survive to have a baby, and their babies will inherit the genes for running fast. Genes for running slowly are more likely to end up in the bellies of the cheetah, lion, or leopard, and consequently less likely to end up in future generations of gazelle. If, again, by a random chance, in an existing gene, a new mutant gene were to arise, which helps the gazelle to run faster, it would spread through the gazelle population. Just like the cheetah mutation, it could be a change in the hoof, or a change in the heart, or some deeply varied change in the chemistry of the blood. The details don't matter here. If any gene helps gazelle to survive by any means whatsoever, it will get passed on their children. So, like the cheetah gene, it will eventually spread until it becomes universal in the population. As the generations go by, both cheetahs and gazelle, hunters and hunted, have become just a little bit fast. We say there has been an evolutionary change on both sides. I like the metaphor of the arms race. Of course, an individual cheetah and an individual gazelle literally run a race against each other, but that's not an arm race. That's just a race, and it ends rather swiftly, a victory by either of the cheetah, a meal, or a gazelle escape. Arms race run more slowly in evolutionary time rather than individual cheetah gazelle time. The arms race is between the gazelle species and the cheetah species. Also lion species, leopard species, hyena species, calf hunting dog species. And the result of the arms race is improvement over a slow evolutionary time scale. Improvement on equipment for survival. Improvement in running speed as the generation go by. Improvement in legs, stamina, dodging skill, sense organ to detect predator or prey, improvement in blood chemistry to get oxygen to muscle parts. Just like in human life, nothing is free. Improvement have to be paid for. Improved running speed demands a longer leg with less heavy bones, and that's paid for in increased likelihood of broken legs. Human artificial selection had bred racehorses to run faster than natural selection ever did. But racehorses' long, slender legs are consequently more likely to breed. Imagine what would have happened to wild horses if they had been driven by the arms race against the saber-toothed tiger to run fast as the modern racehorses. The fastest individual might have been more likely to outrun the saber-tooth with their longer legs and lighter bones, but they'd also have been more likely to break a leg. Then they'd have been easy meat for the saber-tooth. So in practice, you'd expect the arms race to lead to a compromise. Wild horse would run fast, but not quite as fast as a human breed racehorse. And that's what actually happened. Not surprisingly, modern racehorses often do break their legs and tragically have to be shot. And it's not just broken eggs and like that put limits on the arms race. Economic limits are also important. Fast running muscles are costly to make. You need food to turn into muscle. The food could have been put into something else, into making milk for baby, for instance. Human arms races are also economically costly. The more money you put into armor, the less money is available for fighters, not to mention less money for hospital and schools. Think of the economic calculation that a plant such as a potato has to do. A plant is a good example because while we might be tempted wrongly to think that the gazelle and cheetah were horse that calculation each had, nobody could seriously imagine that a plant does sums. And doing calculation consciously is exactly that Barry not talking about. The equivalent of calculation is done by natural selection over the generation. So, back to the potato plant. It has a limited amount of money to play with. Money here means the energy resource that ultimately comes from the sun, turned into the currency of sugar and often stored as a starch. For instance, in a potato tuber. The plant needs to spend some money on leaves to take on sunlight to make more money. It needs to spend some money on root to take in water and mineral. It needs to spend some money to understand the tuber to store money for next year. It needs to spend some money on flower to attract insects, pollinate other potato plant and spread the genes, including genes for getting the spending decision right. Potato plant that get their calculations wrong, perhaps not spending enough on tuber storage for next year, are less successful in passing on their genes. As the generation go by, plants that get their economic sums wrong becomes less numerous in population, and that means that genes for getting economic sums wrong becomes less numerous. The population gene pool becomes more and more full of genes for getting the economic sums right. Having learned from the potato plant that we are not talking about the conscious calculation, we can safely go back to gazelle and talk about how they get their economic balance right. The details are different from the potato, but the principles are the same. Gazelle need to be cautious of cheetahs and lions. They need to be scared. They need to keep watchful eye open and a watchful nose, for they often use smell to detect danger. But importantly, they also need to spend a lot of time eating. Wait for weight, plant food,